Good afternoon. This is Leonard Smith from Sense Memory. There will be no cocktail today because this is just a quickie, an unboxing if you will. What I'm going to do is take you to an era of glamour, danger, and noir. So stay tuned and see what's in the box. The story begins about a couple of weeks ago. I was in Neiman Marcus and there was this fragrance that was introduced in 2015 that has been intriguing me, partly because of the incredibly beautiful bottle, partly because of the great history, the great story behind this house. And I wanted to explore it. So I tried it on paper and sniffed it and was completely disappointed. It was super, super sweet and just not my cup of tea. Way too young, way too not matching up with my idea of what this house should be doing. So I put it in the back of my mind for a while. I was in there again last week and I came across it and I thought, oh, golly, maybe I should just test it. So I got a little sample from one of the sales associates there who's really wonderful and always helps me out. And I brought it home and I put it away for a while. And then last night when I was editing my review that I did yesterday, I noticed it was sitting there. I thought, well, I'll just give it a little try. So I found a bare patch on my arm way down here and I spritzed it on. Boy, was I in for an incredible awakening. A really wonderful experience happened. And part of it was that you can't trust what you smell on paper. You can't trust the top notes on paper. You just can't. What happens with fragrance when it hits your skin and mixes with the oils in your skin and your chemistry and all of that kind of thing is where the fragrance really shows its true colors. And now we all know this, and of course, I should have known better, but I went with that first impression on the paper and just dismissed it. So I wore it last night, I wore it again this morning, and I went out this morning and had breakfast with a friend and had a really nice time. Went over to Neiman Marcus afterwards, and as a matter of fact, it was one of my sales associates that we went to breakfast with. I'll put a link down below on you and your sales associates and how to develop a wonderful relationship. Anyway, we went over to Neiman Marcus. He went to work. I went upstairs, and I let him smell this fragrance on me without telling him what it was, and he thought it was beautiful. I let a sales associate in the store who was helping me smell it, and he didn't know what it was, but he thought it was really beautiful. And each time when I told them it was what it was, they were surprised. They didn't expect it to smell that way on skin. So that's a story of how we came to this point in time. So I went ahead and bought it. Now, I was lucky. It is a beauty event at Neiman Marcus, so you get little goodies from Neiman Marcus. So what I got was this incredible tote bag. It really is beautiful. It feels like real leather, but I doubt it. It's probably really fine faux leather. But what you had a choice of gold, a shiny gold, or this, and I like this because it kind of echoes or reminds one of Hermes with the black piping and the color, of course. So let's see what's inside. Now, they did give me a lot of samples, beauty products that I'm going to give to some of the ladies at work, but there are some skin things and some shampoos that I'll use. But that came with the bag for the beauty beauty event. And also I got some Armani Privé samples for me and a friend, so I'll share those with her. And this is the box. He wrapped it up in this white paper, and oh, there it is, Norell, New York. It really is a beautiful presentation. You can see on the top it says Norell, New York in gold. Now, Norell, New York is named after a designer from the 1940s and 50s. His name was Norman Norell. He was born in 1900, and he began his career as a costume designer at Paramount Studios and created costumes for Gloria Swanson and other stars of the studio. Then he moved to New York and worked in the theater, did costumes for the Ziegfeld Follies, and then finally was discovered by Hattie Carnegie and joined her team. And in the early 40s, I think it was around 1941 if I'm not mistaken, he struck out on his own and created a company, a partnership. And he formed this partnership with Anthony Traina, who did mostly gowns in the 40s. And he had a huge clientele, very wealthy women in New York. So Norman Norell brought his talents to the company and became Traina Norell. And until sometime around 1960, when Anthony Traina retired, then it just simply became Norell. But Norell was very famous for its very simple, elegant, well-made, extremely well-made clothes, day clothes, and beautiful, very romantic evening clothes for women. And his patterns, he never used patterns. The only thing he used, if it wasn't solid color, was stripes or polka dots, but never any flowery patterns or anything like that. It was very elegant, very chic. So he, in 1968, created his first perfume and only perfume. It was called Norell. And I can remember in the late 60s, early 70s, Faye Dunaway was the face of Norell perfume. So let's open this up and see what it smells like. The nose behind the fragrance is Celine Burrell. She's French. I'm going to put a link down below to a wonderful little film about the making of this fragrance and an interview with her. She's quite wonderful, quite inspiring in her story of how she made this fragrance. So even though it is an American fragrance, it has a French story to it. So there, I removed the little stickers on the side that, oh my goodness, look at this. Look at this. Now what happens? Oh my goodness, and there it is. Look at that presentation. Isn't that amazing? What a gorgeous bottle. Now let's take this off and bring the perfume. Oh, look how it says Norell down there. Isn't that something? So this is definitely a magnificent presentation, and there you have the bottle. It really is absolutely stunning. What an incredible bottle. It is a green floral. I don't have a list of all the notes, but it definitely has peony, it has galbanum, it has pear and some citruses in the top notes. It has orris, it has sandalwood, vetiver. It's just chock full of wonderful notes. And it puts me in mind, now I mentioned that it takes me to an era of glamour and danger and noir. And when I say noir, I don't mean like, oh, let's name this fragrance noir because it's dark or it's in a black bottle or whatever, the way they do today. But it definitely is of that era in the 40s, late 40s, early 50s, of a kind of Manhattan that is dark and dangerous and you never know what's going to happen. And this fragrance has that kind of feeling. It has a real sophisticated, dangerous side to it, which really is something. So I will be doing a more in-depth review of this wonderful fragrance down the line. But right now I just wanted to share with you this incredible presentation of Norell, New York. This is Leonard Smith from Sense Memory saying, remember, wear what you love and not what they say you should like.